I do apologize for that. My internet just dropped randomly. Let's go ahead and load up this cutscene again.
Look! Someone's coming!
People of Razathan, it warms my heart to see so many brave, resilient souls before me.
Let me see if I can skip ahead. Skip past this.
Do not be...
Very well.
Many thanks.
A dragon! Wow!
People of Razathan, I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode. Tis...
Let us hope. If I am hearing this right, you were the satrap all along?
Vashan! I mean...
Nay. Country. Friends and loved ones have been taken from us. I have worked for so long, and yet... I fought to this dragon, this calamity. I pray you let an end me.
I do not... As divinities, both maneuver...
A sight that would have surely brought a smile to Azael's face.
Indeed.
Excuse me, but I must...
Father!
You have suffered. On behalf of, I say again.
I am satrap here.
If I have given offense, 'tis an affliction of the four thenceforth. Escape this. 'Tis by no means with the coming of the... But what of the... This son by our people? including...
Not yet.
It is for that very... Though...
Sure. What in? Until... Remain.
Will do.
Alright, from here we can play it normally.
Oh, you're still here. What a relief.
Nidana, what's the matter? Has something happened at Palika's stand?
Oh, no, not that I know of. I just hope to hear your thoughts on a theory of mine. All who undergo the transformation are drained of their ether, yes? What is it then that gives these beasts the strength to carry on as they do? Logically, they must be drawing upon an alternate form of vital energy. That put me in mind of our earlier conversation, when I tried to explain the essence which many confuse with ether.
Akasha. Yes, I remember. The unseen gift bestowed from on high. An energy influenced solely by emotion.
Yes, yes. In this instance, negative ones set Akasha into motion, thereby infusing the beasts with vitality. I posit this as the mechanism by which the beasts are born and sustained. Ah, do you still have that flower? If we accept that it once shone bright by drawing upon Akasha, influenced by the thoughts of those nearby, then fear, terror, despair, negative emotions so powerful as to suffocate it, permeated the air in this place. You must be very careful. The forces which drive the final days may be beyond our ability to perceive. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you like that. At any rate, I will continue my research into Akasha. Do temper your expectations, however. There are sadly few detailed studies upon which I may draw.
Formulating a new theory as you have is itself no small feat. I wish you well in your endeavors, and pray you take care.
Thank you. You stay safe as well, yes? Till next we meet, and we will meet again.
Okay. Gotta talk to Alfino. As far as we have come, and after all the horrors we have seen, there is still so much we do not know about the final days. Could it be, as Nidana said, that the cause of this phenomenon is behind our comprehension? And if so, are we powerless to forestall it? Greetings, Honor Science of the Seventh Dawn. I have a message from His Excellency the Satrap. Brave Scions, you have my gratitude for aiding my people in this most trying of times. The last matters here at Megadu to prevent me from meeting you all in person. As a token of my appreciation, I have arranged for a feast to be held in your honor. May it nourish you in preparation for the trials ahead. Such are the words of Master Vitra. The VC speaks of you awaits at Merid's Mahane. Pray make your way there whenever your business here is done. We thank you for your kindness. Indeed, I was hoping we might find a place to discuss our next course of action, and that seems an ideal venue. Ah, and to you, Yaminamura, there is someone who we had hoped to introduce to you in particular. While I am loath to detain you further, might you spare a moment of your time? A personal invitation, knowing full well your services are in highest demand right now. This must be important. Worry not, we'll save some food for you, so take all the time you need. Thank you, friend. Whenever you are ready, please join me in the Aetheryte Plaza. I shall go on ahead. Go on ahead and throw away my plate. That's much better. Access to Aetheryte you see there has been restricted to a select few ever since the tower first appeared. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. It is deemed too dangerous to permit the free movement of visitors at a time of emergency, a risk we could not take. In light of recent developments, however, the Satrap has decided that such restrictions would only hinder our efforts to combat the final days. As such, I would encourage you to attune with the Aetheryte before proceeding along the corridor. Finally! I don't think I've actually been this way. Oh, I have. Never mind. Ah, you must be wondering what this place is. You stand in the Hall of the Radiant Host, from where our leadership oversees all of Radzenhan military's operations. Sundrop, our destination, lies just ahead. Oh ho! So you're the famous Yaminamura, eh? I knew it the moment you stepped through the door. You the look of one who's walked through hell. Shirabot, please, you're speaking to the Satrap's honored guest and a savior of our people. Can you not show a modicum of respect? What disrespect is there in paying a fellow warrior a compliment? We're all friends here. We will be soon enough. More formally then, for the benefit of my countrymen, it is a pleasure to have you with us, O great champion of Eorza, scion of the Seventh Dawn, warrior of light, and all-around good egg, I'm sure. What is this place? I hear you've been to Kagane, where you'll have seen all sorts of foreign embassies and whatnot. Well, we got them here in Razathan too. Our other lands send delegates to oversee trade and diplomatic dealings, and there are military matters to discuss, which is why all these officers are stationed here in Sundrop. I imagine you're more than familiar with each of the nations they represent, yes? We've got representatives from Doma, Ulda and Alamigo, Limsa Laminza, Gridania, and last but never let it be said least, Ishgard. They are the eyes, ears, and mouths that bridge the distance between Razathan and their respective homelands. We've used this brief respite to share the details of our plight with our overseas counterparts. Wouldn't you know it, all of their leaders requested a few words from you specifically. You're a man in high demand, eh? And so, would you mind regaling us with your own account? Indulge us before you indulge yourself. I thank you for the report. The conditions under which men are turned to beasts, the etheric anomalies you have observed, you have given us much to consider. It is concerning that the first transformation apparently occurred before the skies turned red. It is contrary to what one would expect. Thankfully, the information conveyed to the SEGA upon your return from the moon has already proved invaluable. As soon as reports of the calamity here in Thavner reached the Grand Company of Eorzea and our Far Eastern allies, our leaders knew at once that the final days were indeed upon us. They began taking steps to assess the extent of the phenomenon's spread. Our agents were able to confirm that, for the time being, the skies burnt only over the Bounty, including this island and Corvos. Alas, that is of little comfort. Aye, all throughout Allied lands there have been reports of people transforming into hideous beasts. From what little we have learned, these incidents are similar in nature to that involving the merchant Kalzal. As was the case here, the victims underwent the change prior to the heavens being set ablaze. And so, while the burning skies have yet to manifest beyond the Bounty, the transformations do not appear to be subject to any similar restriction. If anyone, anywhere overcome by despair could turn, then nowhere is safe. That's about the size of it. Speaking of which, we ought to give these creatures a name, don't you think? Here in Razathan, we've taken to calling the first of change, which tend to be the biggest, blasphemies. As fitting as name and as any, to ensure clarity in future communications, we shall urge our comrades to adopt this terminology. Our leaders have taken measures to deal with the threat to the best of our abilities. Aye, each nation has assembled their own groups of elite soldiers to put down these so-called blasphemies and their spawn as and when they appear. At the same time, they are doing all in their power to put the people's minds at ease, to prevent panic and fear from spreading. As said, brave souls with the strength and fortitude to fell these terrible fiends are not easily found. Just so, and it is for that very reason that we turn to you. Pray lend us your strength and help us to slay the blasphemies that plague our homelands. Now, you don't have to give your reply before dinner. I should also mention that each blasphemy seems to possess widely different characteristics. What works well against one may serve you poorly against another. So before you go rushing off to save everyone's day, have a word with the delegates. They'll tell you what to expect. And with that, I do believe our friend has a feast to attend. Spare a thought for us while you're tucking into all that fine cuisine, eh? You've gained access to the role quest for him. Yes! Finally I have access to the role quest! A separate quest line and story is now available for tank, melee DPS, physical range DPS, magical range DPS, and hero roles. To undertake these quests, speak with any of the delegates in Sundrop and agree to help defeat the blasphemies that plague their respective homelands. May as grab yours because you are the melee DPS one. Ah, Yami, on behalf of Admiral nope, I don't try to pronounce that name. I thank you for your many deeds in service to Limsa Mensa. We have reached troubling tidings that beasts akin to those that plague Razathan have been sighted on the Lanoshan coast. The Admiral has mustered a maelstrom in hopes of quelling the threat, yet there is much we do not understand about our foe, and as such, your expertise in this arena, would be a great boon to us. Will you help us? Excellent. The Admiral will be heartened to have your knowledge and martial prowess on our side, I am certain. Pray set sail for Limsa as soon as you are able. The Secretariat of Maelstrom Command will apprise you of the details upon your arrival. Pray forgive Shira about her rudeness. She could be a bit boisterous at times, but it's simply her nature. Anyway, I apologize for keeping you from your hard-earned rest. You will be rejoining your companions, yes? Do you know the way to the Mahane? I know Radzahan like the back of my hand. Glad to hear you're becoming familiar with our fair city. You'll be pleased to hear that all drinks are on the house, so order whatever suits your fancy. And with that, I must return to my post. On behalf of all the Radiant hosts, I thank you and your friends once more for lending your strength and courage to Radzahan in our time of need. We shall endeavor to fight the good fight to the end, that we might honor Awewan's legacy and serve Master Vritra well. You have my word that your efforts will not be in vain. Welcome. When the Satrap asked us to entertain a party of honored guests, I was wondering who it might be. This is a lovely surprise, to say the least. By the way, I heard all about Kalzal from your friend Grahatia. I understand there was nothing that could be done, but I was heartened to hear that he meant us no harm. I cannot thank you enough for dispatching the beast. As the smallest token of our thanks, your food and drink tonight are Mered's treat. Speaking of which, where shall I start you off with? A piping hot mug of chai. As you wish, pray join your friends, and I will bring you your drink. Give me a second. I will be right back. Okay. Welcome back. Whatever did Radiant want with you, pray tell? Our allies have sent military delegates? That seems to me. Mind sharing the details?
So blasphemies now plague all the realm.
It will only get worse if what Father said is true. As it did in Amarot.
If that's our model, then shouldn't we expect the effects to grow more severe as it feeds off its own spread? As if people transforming into those monstrosities wasn't bad enough. If the flora and fauna, if the land itself turned against us.
No one would survive.
Here's your order, friend. May you find comfort in these dark times.
Where do we go from here? If there's one thing we've learned, fighting blindly and simply reacting to what comes will accomplish nothing. We must find a solution that addresses the fundamental cause. Before our strength is exhausted, before this crisis spirals out of control. Is there something? Anything we've overlooked?
If there is an answer, Hydaelyn herself will have it. 'Twas she who bound Zodiac and forestalled the final days. Alas, we have heard naught from her since the Tower of Babel. Whether she cannot or will not speak, I can only speculate. Even the flower she gave us is no more. So advised the Watcher. But what could be the significance of that name? It is entirely unfamiliar to me.
To me as well. It meant something to the ancients, though. In our time.
Most surely. Yet I do not recall a single mention of it in the records of Anida.
Another dead end. And quite literally. It's not as if there are any ancients living we could go and ask.
Not alive as such, but not quite dead. Elidibus. I sealed him in the White Horusite of the Crystal Tower back on the first. Contained within that reservoir of ether that maintains it, ether that is returned little by little to the sea, naught may remain of his soul. However, if part of it lingers, we might be able to speak with him there. I know we can no longer make that journey, but you, my friend, still can. Yes, we can but act and hope for the best.
If nothing else, should we learn the first is safe, we'll have that much more reason to keep fighting the good fight. That said, the odds are not in our favor, to say the least. Which is why we're fortunate to have Urianger up there on the moon, working hard to make all the necessary preparations for our departure, should it come to it.
And why we have nothing to lose by staying the course till the last instant.
Indeed. To the last, let us all do what we can. I will consult with Master Matoya and see if she knows of a way to reach Hydaelyn from the ethereal sea.
And I will visit the nation's leaders and attempt to ascertain how far the final days have progressed elsewhere.
Keep me abreast of your findings. I can seek out and slay the worst of the immediate threats, if only to slow the spread.
Unease, terror, despair. Try as we might to suppress them, these emotions will return to harry us time and time again. But when they do, remember this. Your friends and loved ones are out there somewhere, sharing in your struggle. You are not alone.
So ends the brief respite before the next revelation. Yes, so much left for you to see. Where beginning ends, and end begins.
Now then, is there anything we've forgotten to mention? Are your arms and armor in good order? In that case, it's time we each attend to our tasks, and when you arrive on the first, give my regards to Reed. Tell her I miss her. Oh, I'm going back to the first? That's cool. Return to the Crystarium. Take this, Yami, my spirit vessel. Empty now, of course, but it should allow you to operate the tower systems and the umbilicus. If even the smallest fragment of Elizabeth's essence remains, it should be possible to locate it. As for access to the umbilicus, pray seek out Lena for assistance. Chances are she still stands watch at the Ascensor Gate. Should she or anyone else ask after me, tell them I am living my life to the fullest, that I am happy, hardships and all. Well, we had best be on our respective ways. God's willing, we will see each other again ere long. Now, before we do that, let's head on over to Lenosha and do this. That way we can get it out of the way. Because I'm at it's a level 85 quest. I'm level 88, meaning the next quest that I'll get for this is more than likely going to be the level 90 quest. Yeah. Ah, our man in Radzahan told us to expect you. I'll inform the Admiral of your arrival. Hello, Melweb. Glad you could join us, Yami. I only wish you were under better circumstances. The grave news from the bounty have not escaped our ears. I can scarce begin to imagine the horrors you have witnessed there. It pains me to say the self-same hell has come to Vilbren. Fell beasts born of deepest despair have been sighted all throughout our island. Tell them what we know. The first report came a few days ago from one of our men patrolling Skull Valley. He spoke of a fearsome creature unlike any native to our shores. While we had our suspicion, it was only later that a connection to Final Days was confirmed by a most unlikely source, the Sahagin. We've been treating their temper for some time now, and many have made a full recovery. Owing to this, some factions are eager to improve diplomatic relations with Limsa. It is one such faction that has proved the most comprehensive reports in all their alarming detail. They speak of a most dreadful sight. Their spawn brothers transform into horrific beasts before their very eyes. Indeed, it is far too similar to the incidents in Razathan to be mere coincidence. If our assumptions are correct, the first and most formidable of the beasts, a blasphemy as it was decided we would call them, prowls our waters as we speak. Fortunately, there have been no sightings of the blasphemy within the city. Nevertheless, if we are to spare our people the horror that befell Razathan, the fiend must be dealt with, and quickly. Despite our investigative efforts, we remain very much in the dark as to the precise nature of the threat. I was reading that! Were we to recklessly dispatch large numbers of troops, we run the risk of having our own men corrupted. You can well imagine the carnage that would ensue. As such, Admiral Blufusfin, hey, I said it, has decided to keep those involved to a minimum and lead the investigation herself. And I would have you at my side. What say you? You have my thanks. We will depart at once to meet with our Sahagan allies and gather what knowledge we can, that we might devise a proper plan of attack. They are due to arrive at South Tide Gate soon. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. South Tide Gate. Where's that at? Camp Skull Valley. Airport. Car! It is well past our agreed upon meeting time, but the Sahagan are nowhere to be seen. They do not seem the sorts to break their words. This bodes ill. Let us leave this place to the guards to search Halfstone for any sign of them. Ha! That fate's still there. Noel is in danger. Quickly, to his aid! Many thanks, Shore Walker. Pray tell, is my companion safe? The Admiral herself comes to our aid. Glad tidings indeed. You two have my boundless gratitude for saving my life. Let us quit this place before those beasts return. Everyone's still alive. Good. But not if we stay out here for too long. Inside, quickly. Thank you, my friends. Those ghastly beasts would have made short work of us had you not intervened. And yet it brought me no joy to watch them die. For unbelievable as it may sound, until a short time ago they were none other than our very own spawn brothers. At first we thought them merely cursed, but our talismans and magics availed us not. Aye, 'twas no curse. 'Twas an evil like no other. Innocent souls transformed against their will into an unholy beast called blasphemies. Blasphemies? Pray tell us more. That would be your area of expertise, Yami. Okay, turn this heater off. It's getting nice and warm in here. Turned into beast by the power of despair? This is horrifying indeed. Thus far, the phenomenon here in La Noscia has been limited to Sahagan. Why is that? I cannot say, yet I wonder if the crushing tide are involved in some way. I know not of this crushing tide. Word of them has yet to reach you, I see. It all began when the Indigo Matriarch, the queen of our kind, was stricken with a grave malady. Tragic as this was, there was one small solace. She was not fond of shore walkers, and so deprived of her leadership, more of my came to see the wisdom in making peace with Limsa Lominsa. There remain, of course, those who would oppose our cause. They formed a group they called the Crushing Tide. Even now they seek to summon the Lord of the World anew, and consign all finless ones into the briny deep. However, they lack the crystals necessary to do so. Denied the power they crave, they can do naught but gnash their teeth in desperation. And you suspect these feelings of helplessness are the cause of their transformations. Just so. Those of our spawn brothers who turned to those beasts had been fraternizing with the Crushing Tide. Despite our differences, we cannot abandon our kin to such a cruel fate. Yet we must be careful not to drive them to still deeper despair. Yes, we must consider the situation carefully, lest we bring destruction upon all our kind. Tell me this, are the Crushing Tide even now under the Leviathan's thrall? If freed from their drowned state, might they not listen to reason? Were it only so simple. All but a few are long since cured. They walk this path of their own free will. In that case, they may yet be dissuaded from their present course. For the sake of our nascent alliance, we will do all we can to save your brethren. Fortunately, a most capable ally stands with us, for this man has bested many a formidable foe, including Leviathan. Pshaw! The great Yami Nomura in the flesh? Honored am I stand in your presence! Together we will weather this storm, and usher in a new age of harmony. This I swear. There is much to be done. For now, let us return to our homes and prepare as best we can for the trials ahead. Should we discover aught of value, we'll be sure to share it with you. I ask that you do the same. Indeed we shall. Until such time, I watch over my spawn brothers and pray that no more succumb to the change. Welcome back. Thanks to you and Noel, I now possess a proper understanding of the challenge we face. 'Tis a daunting task that lies before us. We'll continue to cooperate with the Sahagan and learn all we can. Once we have located the blasphemy, I will have need of your strength. Till then, I ask that you remain at the ready. Clearly, the storm clouds have only begun to gather. Already? Phew. Your timing could not be better. The Admiral has just this moment returned from meeting with the Sahagan. I shall inform her of your arrival. Ah, Yami, I'm glad you're here. We have decided on our next course of action. As you know, we face two distinct but interconnected challenges. The transformations occurring among the Sahagan may be one, but the blasphemy itself is the root of the problem. Thus far, those who succumb to the change have all been affiliated with the Crushing Tide, who continue to resist our diplomatic efforts. Were we to put a stop to the phenomenon, as well as address their grievances, we may yet have a chance at peace. To that end, I will propose a double-pronged approach. On one front, we shall work in tandem with our Sahagan allies to redouble our patrols. Should the blasphemy surface, we will share this knowledge and move immediately to dispatch the threat. At the same time, we will pursue a dialogue with the Crushing Tide. We need to bring them back to the negotiating table, and then see what can be done to convince them to stand down. A key point will no doubt be the lingering issue of securing land for their spawning grounds. This discussion I intend to approach with an open mind. It will be no easy task, but we succeeded with the kobolds, and I have faith that we will succeed with the Sahagan as well, so long as we parley in good faith. You can only hope the Crushing Tide shared that sentiment. You're wise to temper your expectations, but I will not abandon hope ere we try. At any rate, Nola sent word that one Dao, a priest who styles himself as the leader of the Crushing Tide, has grudgingly agreed to hear us out. I will parley with him face to face at the Sapsa spawning grounds, and would have you at my side if you do not object, that is. Excellent. In that case, pray join me at South Tide Gate when you are ready. From there we will go together. Back to airport. Jesus. Back in my car. Whoops! Went right by it. All prepared, are you? Thou is not known for his patience. We must take care not to incur his ire. I was told he would be at the spawning grounds upon our arrival, but it appears he has been delayed. Let us speak with the Sahagan here. Mayhap one of them will be able to shed light on what may be keeping him. One more thing. I come here as a representative of Limsa Laminsa on a diplomatic mission. Should the talks deteriorate and things come to blows, I cannot be seen to bloody my hands. I trust that you understand. And with that, let us be off. Oh, okay. What is this? Since when are filthy shorewalkers free to intrude upon our sacred spawning grounds? Pray forgive our intrusion. We seek an audience with Speaker Dao. Where might we find him? You will do no such thing, shorewalker. We have not forgotten what you did to Lord Leviathan. Be gone! You won't get much out of this one. Let's try elsewhere. Why do you trespass at our domain, vile shore walkers? We mean you no harm. We come only for a peaceful parley with your leader, Master Dao. Where might we find him? We desire no parley with the shore walkers who would steal our home. Were it not for your insatiable selfishness, we Sahagan would grow and flourish. Your grievances are justified. That is why I will speak with Master Dao and work toward a peaceful solution. Empty words for the thieving shore walker, but so be it. Soon you shall learn the futility of your efforts. Speaker Dao is currently overseeing security at the spawning grounds. You will find him by the entrance. Though mark my words, you will wish you hadn't. We shall see. I thank you for your aid. Oh, Jesus. Shore walkers in our spawning ground? To what do I owe this pleasure? Speaker Dao, I presume. I apologize for entering into your home unannounced. I am Melwib Bluefisfin, Chief Admiral of Limsa Laminsa, and this is Yami Namor. We come seeking a parley that we might strive for peace between our peoples. Parley, you say? Prolonging this conflict any further will lead only to needless suffering. The menace both our peoples face is great indeed. If ever there was a time to set aside our differences and come together for the greater good, it is now. I invite you to join us at South Tidegate for formal negotiations. Shorewalkers and Sahagan coming together? What assurance do I have that you will not slit our gills the moment we set foot within your territory? I can offer naught but my word. We open our gates to you and invite you into our home as a show of respect. I do not trust you, Shorewalker, but let it never be said that Dao of the Crushing Tide was a coward. I accept your offer, but attempt any treachery or subterfuge and your people will drown in their own blood. Very well, Master Dao. I look forward to the productive discussion. Let us return then. I shall send word to Knoll as well. I would have our Sahagin allies join us at the parley. Thank you for joining us here, Master Dao. The air here sickens me. Be brief. Aye, let us get straight to the heart of the matter. A common threat looms before us, one more powerful than any primal, with the potential to bring death without end to both Sahagin and Leminson alike. These circumstances call for swift and united action. You doubt our intentions, but I remind you that we have liberated many of your kin from Leviathan's enthrallment. They and countless other Sahagin have joined us, of their own free will, that we may ensure the survival of both our peoples. Aye, by their deeds have the Leminsons proven themselves worthy of our trust. Master Dao, you and your crushing tide want only to secure a future for your people. I say to you, this can only be done by confronting this threat together. Threats. What is this threat you speak of? If it is unity you crave, then submit yourself to our command. Be as the Serpent Reavers. They are the only shore walkers I deign to call friend. You would ask us to willingly surrender ourselves to your Lord of the World. I do, for that, and that alone will assure peace between us. Preposterous. You propose not alliance, but servitude. This way lies nothing but death for all Sahagin. Do you hear this, my spawn brothers? The shore walkers have stolen this one's mind. He decries Lord Leviathan and espouses the lunacy of our sworn foes. These treacherous wretches have abandoned our god and conspire to drive we faithful from our ancestral home. We cannot, we must not let this stand. For shame, forsaken by our spawn brothers, they side with the finless ones and blaspheme our Lord Leviathan. They who steal our spawning grounds and slaughter our children, our future, our future! Behold this blessing. Lord Leviathan grants us greater and greater strength. You would call this a blessing? Such horrors! Flee for your lives! The beast makes for Aleport. I leave this place to you. Splendid, splendid! Let all our spawn brothers be blessed with such power. This is the second time you saved my life, Shorewalker. My gratitude is boundless at the sea. But what of the Admiral? We must go to her aid. I was too late. I am sorry. There is no need for apologies. You are not responsible for my people's plights. But what I cannot fathom is Dao's response. How pleased he was to see his brothers become slavering beasts. The fool believes it is a blessing from Leviathan himself. Any hope for a peaceable solution will be lost should Dao and his crushing tide manage to wield these transformations as a weapon against us. I shudder at the very thought, and yet the true threat, the blasphemy, is still out there, yes? Just so. The first ones to transform are those who have fallen to the deepest depths of despair. The more painful their anguish, the more fearsome and formidable they become in their bestial forms, and the greater their influence over others. We could scarcely hope to stand against a legion of such foes. Would that there was more my people could do to help. I will have the Maelstrom patrol the seas for the blasphemy, that we might slay it with all due haste. But this may well amount to naught. If the blasphemy too was born from a Sahagin, it could be sheltering in the depths, beyond the reach of our ships. In that case, pray allow my spawn brothers and I to serve as your eyes beneath the sea. Thank you, Noel. Through our efforts combined, we might yet weather this threat. As for your brothers who gave their lives today for our cause, I shall see that they are returned home to be laid to rest as they deserve. You have my gratitude, Admiral. And with that, we should return as well. There's much work to be done, and would see it done quickly. Ah, Yami, I was just sharing our findings. So you see, the danger is exactly as the Sahagin described. While Dao and his ilk have no means of forcibly triggering the phenomenon at present, it is plain they intend to seek one out. Redouble our patrols offshore and inform me at the first sign of anything out of the ordinary. It shall be done, Admiral. I worry that we may be stretching ourselves too thin. Should the situation take a turn for the worse, I will recall our forces from Golemald, yet I would reserve that as a last resort. For now, I must get to work securing reinforcements. I ask that you remain close by. We may have need of your strength all too soon. Jesus, another one already. Alright, level 87. The Admiral left a message for you, and the news is not good. It appears that a Leminson merchant ship was assailed by a Sahagin raiding party affiliated with the Crushing Tide. To further complicate matters, the vessel in question was carrying a shipment of crystals supplied to us by the kobolds of Ogamoro. The Admiral suspects that Dao means to use the plundered crystals to summon Leviathan. She has gone to meet with Noel that we and our Sahagin allies might take swift action. She bids you join her immediately. Should the worst come to worst, your experience in combating primals may prove essential. Pray make for South Tidegate and rendezvous with Admiral Bluefspin at once. Thank you for coming, Yami. The situation is grim. The Crushing Tide plundered one of our trading ships and seized a goodly stash of Ogamoro crystals. Though their aim is clear, it appears they yet lack the quantity needed to perform the summoning. Thou longs for the days where every Sahagan cried out for Lord Leviathan's deliverance, and will stop at nothing to see them return. I cannot fathom what the Crushing Tide are thinking. What satisfaction, what happiness can be found in giving over their hearts and minds to a false god? And so we must thwart their designs, lest the bonds we have forged be forever broken. By the same token, we cannot ignore the blasphemy, nor the transformations its presence may bring about. A battle on two fronts, neither of which we can commit to at the expense of the other. As we sail into the eye of the storm, I would hear your counsel. What course of action would you propose? As it happens, I've already enlisted the executioners, the krakens, and the sirens to the cause. They've done much to bolster the Maelstrom's efforts to scour the seas for the blasphemy. So for it to seek reinforcements, we ought to turn elsewhere. But to whom? Let us recruit the Yellowjackets to the cause. The Yellowjackets are spread thin, keeping the coast safe for the Crushing Tide in their raids. We cannot afford to dilute their ranks any further. Now we must look to another party for assistance, I'm afraid. Any other ideas? Sounds like a job for the Company of Heroes. The Company of Heroes. Now that's a name I've not heard in some time. 'Tis true that they answered the call many a time. Indeed, other than you and yours, they are arguably none better suited to the task of primal slaying. But they disbanded over 5 years ago, and neither hide nor hair has been seen of their commander since. Aye, absent their leader, I suspect they will be reluctant to join our cause. And yet, I can think of no better option. I'll contact Wizcat, their erstwhile commander's right-hand man, and see if he will not hear us out. I'll ask him to meet us at the Drowning Wench. Let us hope he is receptive to our offer. No, might I trust you and your brothers to continue the search for the blasphemy in the meantime? Of course, Admiral. Should we discover anything, you will be the first to know. The Drowning Wench. That's back in Limsa. Jesus. Keep going back there. What? They should be right here. Unless they're above me. Nope, not there. No, it said wait outside, but I didn't. Oh, pfft, it didn't load in. My apologies for the delay. You are alone? And here I swore 5 years ago that I was done playing hero. Did someone explain what this is all about? Believe it or not, I am a respectable man with respectable obligations these days. Take that pole arm out of your arse, old friend, and start pretending you're not still a murderous bastard at heart. Watch that wicked tongue of yours, Ood, lest I scare it and prove you right. Ah, nothing like a reunion with dear companions over a bottle of the wench's finest vintage. That is why we're here, right? Long time no eye catch up, Lenders. Bravefox is tummy tickled to see gobby friends again. Thank you for assembling on such short notice. Spare us the pleasantries. Admiral, why are we here? I make a simple request. Reform the company of heroes and lend limbs of limits of your strength. You've a reason, I'm sure. I would hear it. So there you have it. A terrible fiend known as a blasphemy prowls our seas, transforming the Sahagin into ravening beasts. At the same time, the Sahagin themselves, specifically, a hostile faction calling themselves the Crushing Tide, has declared their intention to summon Leviathan anew. Should they succeed, we would be hard-pressed to deal with the Primal while still dealing with the other threats. A right pickle indeed. But the answer is no. The commander disbanded the company, and as his first mate, it's not my place to gainsay his final order. Sod that, I say. Have you forgotten our company's creed? The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. Are the people now in danger not the same men and women we fought to defend years ago? The commander would not have turned his back on them, and neither should we. Bold words, Landonel, but do you truly believe that we can honor them as we are? Old mercenaries past their prime, lacking a commander whose wisdom and prowess saw them to glory once upon a time. Ah, yes, your commander. What if Yami here were to lead you in his stead? Surely you would not question his abilities. An intriguing proposition. I, for one, would not be averse to serving under such a decorated hero. Call me friend has goodly head for fighty think, and goodly arms for thinky fight. As ringing an endorsement as any, but I would hear it from the man himself. Do you believe you are capable of leading the company of heroes into battle? If you've the stones to follow me. Now that's the confidence I'd expect from my commander. Very well then, consider us yours to lead. 5 years to the day. Truth be told, I was enjoying the more leisurely life, but when duty calls... Wait, before we proceed, I must ask, have we no way of reaching out to the commander? Forgotten how he took his leave, have we? Up and vanishing so we could each find our own way. Apart from him and the company, I doubt we'll see him again, much as I wish we could. To the matter at hand, the missions you will undertake. First, you are to aid us tracking down the blasphemy that roams the sea. Second, you is to prevent the Crushing Tide from summoning the Leviathan at all costs. Oh, is that all? And there I thought we might get our feet wet with a real challenge. But in all seriousness, we should take care to decide who attends to what. Sounds like a job for our acting commander. I'm sure he'll give it all due consideration. So if I understand this correctly, we're to bring down this so-called blasphemy. Of course, to do that, we'll need to find the damn thing first. We've also got to prevent the Crushing Tide from summoning their god, Leviathan, a tall order in and of itself. As acting commander, it's your job to decide who will be doing what, based on the skills we each have to offer. I recommend that you start by having a chat with each of us, that you might develop a sense of the strengths and weaknesses, mostly strengths, of course, of the storied veterans under your command. Oh boy. I specially ask, why impaling fiends with this lance of mine, of course. The stronger the foe, the better. None are a match for me. It would be folly to waste my talents on dealing with those slippery fishmen. Set me against that so-called blasphemy, and I'll have the thing on a skewer before you can say Melwood Bluefisfin. A wise choice. Send Landonel after the Sahagin, and he's like to help them summon Leviathan to sate his bloodlust. I will speak plain. I am not some battle-crazed barbarian like Landonel. As none of the U, a tribe of peerless hunters, I conduct my affairs with discipline and prudence. As such, I know better than any that to rush headlong into battle is rarely the best course of action. Far wiser it is to observe from afar and proceed with caution. Preventing the primal summoning. Very astute, if I do say so myself. There are few better suited to the task of averting needless bloodshed than the famously circumspect Ud Nun. As you well know, my vision is somewhat lacking these days. I can still defend myself if necessary, but rather it not come to that. My condition also leaves me rather unsuited to scouting and searching. It wasn't always the case, but such is life. On the other hand, I like to think I've gotten quite good at sounding out the intentions of others during negotiations and the like. Preventing the primal summoning. You've a keen sense for these things, I see. More so than reconnaissance or battle, Shamani has a knack for working behind the scenes to see the company's goals achieved. Brave Foxmaster, remaker of Illuminati treasures, offers much handy-lending with ingenuity. Far-seeing spyglass sees far into ocean deep. Crackfires go boom and blast beasts into bitty pieces. Pursuing a slave in blasphemy. A logical choice, if I do say so myself. Brave Fox's mastery of tools and armaments are sure to avail you in tracking and felling that beast. It would seem everyone has their assignments. And I dare say the choices you made are nigh impeccable. If I didn't know better, I think you'd been leading us for years. And with that, it is time we got to work. I've procured link pearls for one and all, that we can keep each other apprised of our progress. You may pick them up from Maelstrom Command. We'd best be off then. Should we have need to regroup or reconsider our strategy, call for us. I will return to command and share these developments here with the Secretariat and our Sahagin friends. Do join me if you can, Commander Yami. I'm a commander now. How nice. Ah, Yami, the Admiral has surprised me at the situation in full. Furnish Yami with a link pearl, yes? Of course, Admiral. It would seem the company is trying to reach us. Oh there, Commander. Just get the word and I'll come running. Lower your goddamn voice, will you? Watch your tongue or I'll track you down and rip yours out. They sound more like mortal enemies than old companions. That's where Yami comes in. I'm trusting you to whip them back into shape. Make them a force to be reckoned with. I will have the Secretariat contact you if there are any development. I'll convey them to the entire company by link pearl, but we cannot afford anyone taking reckless action. In the meantime, I will reach out to Noel and see what he has gleaned about the crushing tide in their hideout. Let us hope for good tidings, Commander. Oh, so it's going up by level, so this will probably be the last one I can do until I get to level 89. The Company of Heroes is awaiting your orders. Candlekeep K, Wolf Landau and Udnun should be close by. What are your instructions? Landau is a hot-headed warrior who lives for the thrill of battle, while Udnun is a calm and calculating hunter. Both can serve you well, but better if assigned to a task suited to their skills. Okay, what order will you give Landau? Drive the crushing tide away. Consider it done, Commander. What order will you give to Udnun? See the residents of Candlekeep Key to safety. Understood. The rest of us will head there at once. I'll tell the Admiral you and the Company of Heroes are on your way. Godspeed. That's in Morby Dry Docks, actually. Oh, Jesus. The food coma's kicking in. Not to mention it is very warm in my room. Worry not, the tide has already been ebbed, if you follow my meaning. Perhaps you're curious how your men carried out your orders. You'll be pleased to hear that London led the attack with this characteristic aplomb, dancing amongst his foes with such speed and ferocity they were dizzying to watch. Udnun made full use of his talents in leading the rescue effort. Not a single man, woman, or child suffered so much as a scratch. I had my doubts at first, but you passed your first trial as acting captain with flying colors. The battle is over, I see. It's good to see the company of heroes can still live up to its name. I demand answers. Why did you target Candlekeep Key? I spit on your questions, filthy shore walker. I was hoping we might do this the easy way, but if you insist... So you would torture us. You shore walkers are all the same. Savage brutes, the lot of you. Torture? Please, we are not so uncivilized as that, my slippery friend. Brave Fox's shiny treasure will have fishermen trading tug flops in no time. Allow me to explain. Shamani Lomani and Brave Fox are well practiced in the art of interrogation. Shamani has a sharp mind, as I'm sure you've noticed, and a knack for getting information out of uncooperative types with a minimum of fuss. Brave Fox, on the other hand, her methods can be unconventional, to say the least, but it's hard to argue with the results. Well, Commander, the choice is yours to make. Let's have Shamani undo it. But of course, Commander, what does I get him talking without so much as lifting a finger? You tell me you're kind or particularly fond of Lenotian oranges. Might I interest you in a glass of delightful orange wine brewed from our latest harvest? This is another glass, shore walker. I demand it in return for the crimes you have committed against my spawn brothers. A mere glass, my friend. Why, I'd be more happy to offer you a full bottle, nay, an entire cask, if you provide us with the answers we seek. We have a deal, shore walker. For a cask of that blissful beverage, I will tell you all my secrets. Again, I ask, why did you target Candlekeep Key? Dao himself gave the order, said we must establish a foothold in preparation for our assault on the city. He means to attack Limsa Limsa itself, but with your numbers that would be folly. Speaker Dao commands power beyond the comprehension of you shore walkers. We have dealt with Leviathan before. You misunderstand. Speaker Dao says it is a greater power still. The very first being blessed by our Lord. The blasphemy. Tell me where Dao is. An island far to the south and east. There he performs the rite that will summon forth the Divine One and deliver my brothers and I to glory. Thank you for your cooperation. I suspect that Dao is hiding out somewhere in the Sildales, a deserted island, most likely. I don't know much about this so-called blasphemies, but can they truly be tamed so easily? We have no evidence they can, but we must operate under the assumption that Dao has found a way. I'll ready a ship. We set sail for the Sildales at once. Prepare yourselves and meet me at the docks as soon as you are ready. I have Shalani and Brayflock continue the interrogation in the meantime. Our friends here might still be hiding something from us. Everyone is here. Good. We make for the Sildales in search of Dao's hideout. Our friend Noel will be waiting for us there. The blasphemy too may be present. Be vigilant, keep your weapons at the ready. Well, Commander, do you have any words for your men on the eve of battle? The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. We meet again, Dao. Where is the blasphemy? Tell us now so we may end this madness. Speak of the bloody devil. There it is, the dread beast I saw beneath the waves. The source of our woes. The echo of all the times. Defend the commander. And bring grave tidings, my queen. The wretched shore walkers poison the minds of my spawn brothers with false words and foul magics. Our poor beguiled brother renounced Lord Leviathan, name him a false god. They treat with limbs and lamenta, and some even call for an alliance. We must summon him, that the lost might receive of this blessing anew. This I would gladly do had our stock of crystals had not run dry. Spawning time is nearly upon us, yet you fight and bicker amongst yourselves. How am I to birth a new brood when my children grow stand divided? Who dares enter the sacred chamber? Forgive my intrusion, Green Mother. I speak for the Sahagin who seek accord with the shore walkers. A new age is upon us. We needn't turn to false gods, nor foment bitterness and bloodshed in our precious spawning grounds. The shore walkers have changed. They endeavor to understand us, to share these lands with us, that they may have peace, and we are our spawning grounds. Could this be true? Lies, lies! Do not be deceived by that one's delusions, my queen. He is a heathen who has strayed from Lord Leviathan's light. The shore walkers are oath breakers, now and forever. As they extend one hand in friendship, they clutch a dagger in the other. We are beasts in their eyes, deserving of naught but slaughter. Oh, for a blessed moment I felt the faintest touch of hope. But you are right, Dao. They are demons, and we are damned. Oh, for woe! My poor children have lost their faith, their minds poisoned by lies. They turn away from the Lord of the world and cast their lot with the enemy. 'Tis so, my queen, 'tis so. We will have no choice but to abandon our secret spawning grounds and sink to the ocean's floor to rot and decay. Dao, dearest of my children, you tell them that we have no future? How could I bring new life into this world, knowing that my brood will have their hearts stolen and abandon me? How could I bear this unbearable sadness? I cannot! What's happening? Please, my queen, you must calm yourself. Such power, such beauty, a blessing from Lord Leviathan himself. So this is a blasphemy, eh? I can see what all the fuss was about. Have your wits about you? Good, if you can fight, now is the time. Strike now, my queen. Send the shore walkers and their honorless leader to her death. What's happening? I can't feel my legs. Why, Mother? Are we not your children, too? We cannot weather another blow like the last. I still don't know when the 7 hells just happened, but I'll be damned if I'm going to go down without a fight. Steady, the beast is feeding on our ether will not survive a head-on fight. Landonel, Ud, remember the company's stratagem when faced with overwhelming odds. Retreat! Retreat! Let's get ourselves the bloody hells out of here. Damn it all! We'd have better luck holding back the tide. How goes it, friends? Is what I would normally ask, but judging from the muttered cursing, I gather it did not go all that well. We barely escaped with our lives. To think the damn beast had the power to stop us in our tracks. Literally. What do we know of the creature's origins? Was it once a Sahagin, as you suspected? Mayhap the echo afforded Yami some insight. Gao's villainy knows no bounds, sowing seeds of despair in our queen's mother's heart, that she might transform into that monstrosity. If she was the first to turn, then there was nothing deliberate about it. Still, it's clear that his words served as a catalyst. If we killed the blasphemy, it'll be tantamount to killing Sahaga's queen. That's not going to endear us to them one bit. I cannot turn my spear against the mother who birthed me, let alone take her life. Out of curiosity, did anyone see who fired that shot? Were it not for them, we'd all be dead. I know not, but we must formulate a plan, and quickly. My scouts tell me that the blasphemy has left the island and now roams the open sea. I'll order them to continue the search. In the meantime, we must find a means to overcome the beast's formidable offense. Leave that to us. Time and again, we've used our wits and experience to triumph over the longest odds. To defeat your enemy, first you must know your enemy. Tell me, Commander, what do you reckon was the most valuable knowledge we gleaned from our initial counter? That the blasphemy has the power to absorb ether. I concur. Now that we know how the beast disables his foes, we can use this knowledge to devise a proper defense against it. But that is not all we have learned. While the blasphemy can maneuver through the water, it also frequents caves and the like. Our best chance of defeating it would be in such a place. Our only chance, I dare say. I will send scouts to identify any and all large caverns and coastal areas that could serve as a shelter for a massive creature. To ensure the safety of our people and to have any hope for peace within the Sahagin, this is a battle that we must win. All your strength and wisdom will be needed in the days to come. Dismissed. Come, let us share our findings with the Maelstrom. Now that we have seen what the blasphemy is capable of ourselves, it is more plain to me than ever that it must be slain. Reach out to all trade ships entering and departing Limsa. Inform them that any sightings of the blasphemy are to be reported to Maelstrom Command at once. Understood, but given the beast's abilities, how do you intend to overcome it? I trust that the company of heroes and Yami, experienced primal slayers all, will find a way. And yet, I would leave no resource untapped. There is one more whose expertise I would call upon, if he would agree. Even Wizcat is at a loss to his former commander's whereabouts, but mayhap Einzar could offer some guidance. No doubt you are still fatigued in the battle with the blasphemy. Pray rest while you are able. When we are ready to take further action, you will hear from me. Till then, take care. And it stops right there. I have to be level 89. Alright, now we can move on to the Crystarium. Yami, you are returned. Have you been well? You and the others? As well can be. Well, glad am I to hear that. I trust my lord is enjoying himself. He said this to you, these exact words. Oh, to know that he is happy. It fills my heart with joy. Thank you, Yami, for taking care of him. When next you see him, please tell him not to overexert himself. Futile a request though it is. And tell him that all is well here. The peace you give to us continues, and we work hard to build new lives for ourselves. In the course of this, we occasionally bicker, but we've never been more optimistic for tomorrow. If I had to mention one dilemma, it would be the question of our governance. Even as we speak, a debate rages on over how we should run the city in the Exarch's absence. Most are of the mind that the Settlement Council should continue to oversee the general running of the Crystarium, while representatives are elected to determine policy and handle diplomacy. Thus far, nothing is set in stone, but however we choose to proceed, we will not replace our lord. No one could. Have we recently observed any unusual phenomena? No, I cannot say there have been. Curious that you should ask me this question, though. Some days ago, Reen came and asked the very same. She was rather unsettled, in stark contrast to how cheerful she has been of late. She and other Crystarium youths just hosted a festival, you see. It proved so popular that there are already plans for another celebration, one much bigger than the first. Between her preparations for the festival and the restoration of the empty, she struck me as happy and full of life. So when I saw her in a state of such worry, I couldn't help but feel worried in return, especially since she wouldn't tell me what troubled her. I dare say she would be more willing to confide in you. I ask you to broach the subject with her. You wish to enter the umbilicus? Very well, I shall fetch the key at once, and take the opportunity to find Reen. Please wait for me in the city, in front of the Cabinet of Curiosity, shall we say? I will be along as soon as I can. following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. Alright. Oops. Do my old eyes deceive me? Is that truly Yami? Oh, hi! Ha! It is! Full glad in my seat am to see you hale and whole, my friend. What a wonderful surprise it is to have you back with us, and at this most opportune time. In case you haven't heard, we are planning to produce a tome chronicling events from the Flood to the Knight's Return. For this project, we intend to draw upon records kept by the world's people. Historical and contemporary first-hand accounts will be the centerpiece of the tome, but George would be the one to crown them all. I've been asked to contribute a chapter on the soul, a subject that is key to understanding much of your endeavors. In the course of developing the spirit vessel, I gained valuable insights into travel beyond the rift, knowledge that will allow me to attest to your existence and deeds. There is no end to the questions I would ask you, but if you could indulge me just one for now. In your quest to restore the night, you face many a formidable foe. Among them, who offered you the greatest struggles? Hades. Easily Hades. Ah yes, Hades, he who sought to resurrect his ancient brethren. He was the final obstacle in your quest to restore the night. Your battle in the depths of the tempest is stuff of epics. Yet compelling as it is, I worried that mere words wouldn't do justice to that fateful confrontation. Not that we would think to omit it entirely. Of course, now at the very least, we will impress upon the readers that it was the climax of your hero's journey. I know you'd love to talk your ear off, Morin, but we really should be on our way. Those documents from Mulemore won't collect themselves. Of course, and afterwards, would you care to join me for tea? I was hoping you might clarify a few points in your treatise. Until next time, then, do tell the others to look after themselves. Our overzealous friend in particular, remind him not to overexert himself again and again till his ears fall off, if that's what it takes for him to take it to heart. Is that the Warrior of Darkness? Hello, children. It's him. It's really him. What are you doing here? If you're going to battle, I can give you some medicine I made it myself. That's not Riki. You'd only give him a stomach ache. We'd come to see Morin to get his advice. One of the guard finally agreed to teach us how to fight, but first we need to choose a fighting style. While I know that I want to be a mage, our kill isn't sure. Magic isn't really my thing, so I was thinking of taking up the axe, or the sword, or maybe the bow. They all seem alright, but it's hard to decide, so I thought I'd ask Morin. He knows about lots of things. He isn't here? Aw. Ooh, why don't you have the Warrior of Darkness choose for you? What do you think suits our kill best? Axe, sword, or bow? For protecting your friends. The sword. The sword. If you took up the sword, you could be just like Brandon, the Warrior of Light. I love that tale. Let's borrow the book today. It's really popular, though. I hope it's still there. Thanks for helping me decide, Warrior of Darkness. I'll start with that style and maybe try something else later on. And when I get really strong, I hope to have a bout with you. Such fun he's been having basking in the adoration of musty old bookworms and wide-eyed younglings, but does he spare a thought for me? Of course not. What? I waited and waited and waited. Oh, I know who it is. It's the Pixie. But he won't so much as acknowledge the presence of his beautiful branch, even though they're right here. Such a heartless thing our sapling is. Cold and cruel and heartless. If you truly miss me, you should have cried for me at the top of your lungs the instant you arrived. To make up for it, you will call with twice the passion next time. Though for there to be a next time, you've some few struggles to overcome. So, my adorable sapling, the world is on the verge of destruction, is it? How do I know this? Join as we are, spying on you is as simple as sliding down the back of a rainbow. Would that I could aid you in your quest, but the fate of we Fey folk is bound to that of the star. Whither it goes, so too do we follow. Such is our way. The most I could do for you is spare you the pain, by gifting you the sweetest of eternal dreams. But if escape's not to your liking, then you must struggle with your fellow mortals. Ah, but here are the ones you were waiting for. I wonder what manner of conclusion awaits at Tale's End. Reen! My apologies for the delay. Yanni, it's so wonderful to see you again. You doubtless have much catching up to do, so I shall leave you to it. I've taken the liberty of unlocking the Bilicus, and you may enter at your leisure. I'm relieved to hear that everyone is well. I've had this feeling like a pin in my stomach, and I was afraid that something might have happened. Maybe I'm overthinking things, but it's just that I'm the Oracle of Light, but I've never spoken with Heidelin, never once heard her call. Even so, I've always had this feeling deep inside me, a connection to something immense. These past few days, though, that connection has wavered, as if that immense something was distant, then close, then distant again. And then, the other night, I was jolted awake by the feeling it had been completely severed. Wanting some fresh air, I went to open the window, and to my horror, the sky was ablaze, like during a star shower. But then I blinked, and everything was normal. The next day, no one said a thing. No one else had seen what I had seen. As far as I could tell, nothing was out of the ordinary. I began to wonder if it was a figment of a half-remembered dream. Yami, what are you not telling me? I have to know, please. It doesn't matter how terrible it is. It wasn't my imagination then. The doom we witnessed in Amarod has come again. I can't believe it. Like I told you before, all is well here in the First, so don't worry about us. Please, look only to the threat before you. We're fine right now, and even if we weren't, we've learned how to survive. Should the final days reach us here as well, you may be assured we won't go quietly. No, we'll hold on until you can find a way to save all our worlds. So long as you continue your fight, so too will we, united in purpose beneath a blazing sky. And that's a new weapon. Boop. Let's see here. What does it look like? Simple. Sleek. Not bad, not bad. Anyway, that is officially all the time I have for today's live stream. So, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the live stream, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out Mother Always Seen our page or click on the link in the description below to help her achieve her dream of being Makaka. I believe it's to you won't be disappointed. And of course, click that little bell button if you wish to be notified whenever I upload a video or live stream to my channel. And most important, if you wish to see Let's Play done, you can do so by checking out my playlist section. All my videos are there archived for your viewing entertainment, so you can watch Let's Plays like Final Fantasy XV, Batman Arkham Knight, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and many, many more. Thank you all for watching. As always, hosting my Shadow Sing Along Z, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!